Hey everyone, this is the Putting You On podcast. I'm Ceci and I'm going to put you on. This is Thirsty Thursday. We're going to talk about the Riyadh Comedy Fest. I know I already did a video on it, but I want to do the aftermath of these comics that now are needing to cope. Okay, they're having to cope with it now. I'm going to just show you a couple clips from Bill Burr and Whitney Cummings, but I got to talk about this aftermath because Bill Burr, who I love, I'm a stand-up comic. I love Bill Burr. But holy shit, did I lose an incredible amount of respect. And I will not be giving him the credit he's still funny, still a funny dude. I just don't know what you stand for anymore though. And he's doubling down on his bullshit. Listen to this, okay? He's gonna double down on it, and I'm gonna really explain to you what actually happened. And honestly, I think that through all this, I think Bill Burr lost more than the $1.6 million he gained. I think he's gonna lose more than he gained. So he was on Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend podcast at the Fonda Theater in Hollywood. And so I'm gonna play you a little part of the podcast, and we'll break it down because I'm sorry, they are all trying to justify. They're lying to themselves to make themselves feel okay so that they can wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and not puke.
It's going okay for me. How's it going with you?
Oh, it's been a great week. It's been fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You've been in the news.
Yeah. I think the general consensus is how dare you go to that place and make those oppressed people laugh, you fucking piece of shit.
Okay, first of all, he wasn't there doing it for the citizens of Saudi, okay, Arabia. That's not what was happening. Sure, 8,000 people, probably 8,000 of the richest people that are tied to the government and the Saudi princes and people who paid to have 9/11 done. Let's be real here. You were not sitting here at some bar. That's the thing. If they were just going to a random bar in Saudi Arabia because they're doing a tour through, okay, cool. This was put together by the government. They were given a list of things they weren't allowed to talk about and paid by the Saudi government. This is not you entertaining civilians.
You went to that place I can't find on a map. And this box said I was upset about it, so now I am.
Now, let's paint a picture here.
It's one thing to wear clothes made by sweatshop labor. It's quite another to go to the factory and make them laugh.
And now he's trying to blame us, say oh, well, you wear things that are made in this country, so you're a sellout too. You cannot conflate those two things. Okay, there's no ethical consumption because I don't get to control where things come from, right? But you do get to control where you go to do your comedy and who pays you. And you allowed them to control what you get to talk about. See, what we saw Bill Burr do was put his neck out so they could put the leash on him. That's all.
How much anger I had about this issue after it went viral.
So you're here to apologize?
No, not at all. It was one of the most amazing experiences I've had as a comedian. It was incredible. And what was the best part is my whole life is I've been paranoid about the news. I watch the news and I always go this doesn't feels like they're moving stuff around, they're shifting it. So to actually kind of be in the middle of one of those stories and actually confirm it and watching them lying their ass off saying there was no women there, which was a lie. It was just great to be at home. I fucking knew it.
I mean, this is a country that has slaves. They have slaves. All these people, all these comedians are trying to put themselves on this pedestal we brought comedy to Saudi Arabia. No one there has ever laughed. Okay, they laugh all the time. In fact, I'm sure they were cracking up on 9/11. So spare me with the whole they're there as these free speech people, advocates. You put your neck out so they can attach a leash to it. And then you're going to hear Bill in a minute talk about how they had this long list of things they can talk about it. But to their credit, they whittled it down just to not talk about their government or their religion.
Sound like anyone's uncle yelling at the TV. But in the best way. Lay this out. Let's lay it out for anyone who isn't initiated.
Lay it out, man.
Let's lay it out, man.
We got fucking 8-track tape here. Why did you turn into something?
Well, I just want to lay it out. I never like to assume everybody's on the same page,
Yeah, we'll do a bump on the console.
You went to Riyadh. It's a comedy festival they had in Riyadh, and you went with a bunch of other people. Yes, a bunch of comedians.
Yes, we went there, and I was scared shitless.
Were you scared before you went?
100%. Because I had the same idea that part of the world as everybody else. I thought I was going to go there. There was going to be a bunch of people dressed like Yasser Arafat, shooting machine guns in the air, going, "That's America! There's one! Cut his fucking head off!"
Who the hell is that laughing in the background? Well, then he's ignorant because even I know that in Saudi Arabia, I know that they're living their normal lives, right? They're still humans. I understand that. And there's still civilians there that I'm sure don't like the regime that they live under, like us. I understand all that. That's not the issue here, Bill. The issue is that you were paid by the Saudi government to do a show for them under their restrictions. You're supposed to be a truth teller. That's what stand-up comedy is supposed to be. It's supposed to be the place where you can actually say what you want. Whew. And half these comedians in the world, if you told them you can't talk about religion or politics, their careers, Bill Maher would not have a career, right? What are we talking about?
So I land in Bahrain. I'm going through customs, and the dude's standing there. He goes, "What are you doing over here?" I go, "I'm a comedian. Went to Bahrain first." And I go, "Yeah, I'm a comedian from America." He goes, "Oh yeah." He goes, "You think we're all over here waiting to cut your head off?" He literally said that, and I had to be like, no, I didn't. If I was more comfortable, I would have been. And you thought I would be 600 pounds with camouflage Crocs coming in here, waiting to eat I don't know what. So we're going into Saudi Arabia. Now we're flying over there, and all I'm seeing is sand and like the highways. It literally looks like the footage whenever they show right before a military strike. Yeah, I'm fucking nervous, right? So we go there, and everybody's like, "Cool, right? Hey, how you doing?" Talking, and it's just fucking normal, sort of, right? And we was in the round. First of all, the great thing about the festival was the people that put it together. When they first said that they wanted a comedy festival over there, they said, "Okay, what is your restrictions with speech?" And they had this whole long list. And the promoters were just like, "All right, well, we can't, you guys aren't ready for stand-up comedy yet." And to their credit, they said, "All right, what do we got to do?" And they basically whittled it all the way down to you couldn't talk about any religion, theirs, yours, anybody else's, and you couldn't make fun of the royals. That was it. And I know a lot of people are like, "Well, that's fucked up, man." It's like, well, they just progressed the ball like 10 yards.
So you put your neck out, they put the leash on, and you said it was a little too short. So they gave you a longer leash. Oh, that was nice of them. Tread on me, daddy. Like, what the fuck? And what's funny about that is that would you allow that to happen here? Would Bill Burr, if Trump hired him to do a show, okay? If Trump hired him to do a show and said, "But you can't talk about the government and you can't talk about Christianity," would he do it? Would he take that money? 1.6 million, same amount of money. Would he do it? On American soil, you're an American. Or does it just have to be Saudi blood money? Now, see, that's the thing. I don't know where you stand anymore, Bill. I don't know what you stand for. I don't know what is true and what isn't with you. All I know is that you're fine with wearing a leash as long as it's kind of long. I wonder what color it was. Black leather. What am I asking that for? Oh my God. That's what you did.
You get there, it's like in the round, and I'm waiting to go on, and everybody in the crowd is dressed like fucking Yasser Arafat, right? And I'm sitting there going like, am I gonna, and they go, "Just to let you know, the front row is diplomats." And I'm like, "Well, what the fuck are they doing?" I already have dry mouth going, "Well, why did I say yes to this?" And then the royals were like up in the box, but everybody else was like regular. So I'm waiting to go on. It was in the round. It was like 8,000 people. And I was like nervous and shit. And right before I went on, this guy yells out, dressed in that whole dish dash thing. He goes, "Hey, Bill Burr, I love you. Get gas, man." And I was just like, what? I can't believe this guy knows who I am. And I went on stage and like, I just started doing my shit, and they were laughing, and I was doing stuff about relationships, and they were laughing. I said, I kind of noticed the chicks over here, the hot ones, they wear the veil a little bit lower. And that got a huge laugh.
They're laughing at
They
it.
are laughing. And then I said, fuck it. I'm going to do the joining a gay gym joke with the dudes sucking each other's dicks in the steam room. So I get halfway through it, and the monitor goes out, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Am I going to get arrested? And it ended up coming back on. But, like, I really have to tell
Were they
you.
trying to edit you in that moment, or you think it was just
No,
an
they
accident?
didn't. No, it was just, it just.
I love how you say the gay gym joke. Like, you all know.
Oh yeah, no. What was so great about it was the people there. You could feel it. Like they needed it, they wanted it, and they wanted you to push. And that's what the comics did. And your job was to just, okay, we've gotten them to here. Now you can move them to there. And it's like, as much as people don't.
See, what you have to wonder now, and what I do wonder, is did they think they went there to lead their new crusade of free speech into Saudi Arabia? Or are you just now joining the bandwagon of bringing less free speech here? You allowed them to muzzle you, Bill, Whitney, everybody. All of you allowed them to put a fucking muzzle on you. And what is Trump trying to do here? So are you actually in favor of spreading free speech, or are you in favor of muzzling people? Because you're not doing what you think you're doing. Whatever bullshit movement you think you're a part of in the Middle East, you're not. All you did was allow a Saudi prince to hook a leash to you. That's funny. Oh man, can you picture it? Bill Burr wearing a leash, the Saudi prince just leading him around. That's what they did. That's what happened. 1.6. Okay. How much would it cost? Like, how much because we all have a number maybe. Somebody asked me, because I do stand up, and they were like, Ceci, realistically, if you were offered 1.6, especially because I'm no one, right? Nobody really knows me. Would you do it? Reality is, I wouldn't. I couldn't, because this is what I do. I sit here and I advocate for free speech. I advocate for human rights. How dare I go and entertain people who their entire livelihoods are built off of the exact opposite, off of making sure that people's free speech and human rights are suppressed. I don't fucking think so. And I'll tell you right now, Shane Gillis, Shane's funny. He's okay. I was never a huge fan, but he gained a fan. He did. He gained a newer fan because of the fact that he even said, I know I have a number. I don't want to know what the number is. Please do not call me anymore. When they doubled the offer. Good for him. He stood on some shit. And now we know that you're a real one. I don't know about you though, Bill. Fuck, broke my heart.
going on over there, it's like they're not going to progress with isolation. So if you go over there and you just sort of like move them a little bit towards us, you know, I don't know. I feel like we're moving towards them in a lot of ways over here, you know? Yeah.
And there it is. We're moving towards them in a lot of ways here, right? And you just went ahead and joined that bandwagon. That's what you did.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, we're fucking grabbing moms and dads and sticking them in a van for making illegally made fucking tacos to go to Alligator Alcatraz.
Now all of a sudden, I can't. See, now when he sits there and speaks out against other things, I don't know. One day, what if we decide to have a big night for the boys at ICE? They need entertainment too. And Trump decides to throw a full-blown comedy show for ICE. Is Bill Burr on the ticket? Hey, it's gonna be 1.6 million. You just can't talk about Trump, the government, or Christianity. Would you do it, Bill? Or is it just Saudi blood money that you'll accept?
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's really fucked up. So, and I will say this. I do have to say this because one of the people that got the most amount of shit, and I'm not going to say any comedians' names because of all of these sanctimonious cunts out there that are just, who don't really sincerely give a shit. I don't know what it is. Their parents didn't.
1.6 million. He's going to lose more than that. He's been in films before. You know, he's done movies and stuff. Are they going to put him in a movie again? Because if I was a producer, I'd be like, oh no, I'm not going to work with Bill Burr. I don't want, there's plenty of funny men. We can find someone else. Let's get someone new. Let's get some new talent out here now. Fuck it. Because I don't want to work with someone who takes blood money and then turns against his own audience to tell us that we're the ignorant racist ones. Oh, okay. Okay, that was your idea. Double down and then turn on your fan base. For 1.6 million, you're worth way more than that. It's amazing the low price people will put on their souls. And again, I know that everyone has a price. I don't know what my price is, but I know it wouldn't be 1.6. 1.6? And I know that it's a lot of money. That would change my entire life, 100%. But I would be making that money basically off the backs of everyone else. That's how it would feel. It would feel like I'm stepping on all of my subscribers. It would feel like I'm stepping on the people that came to a comedy show that had seen me before. It just would feel dirty and gross. And I want everyone here to also know that I hit over 1,000 subscribers. Let's do it. Whoa, let's do 2,000. Please hit subscribe, share, do all the good things. Well, I really like talking to people. I really like talking about comedy and politics, and I know you guys do too. And a little bit of the cheese man, the drama that happens and stuff. Because this is our entertainment now, right? We are living it, and it's insane. And so I'm going to try to do my best to bring it to you and be honest, because I am not going to stand on bullshit. I'm just not. So if you like free speech, hit subscribe. If you like jokes, hit subscribe. If you like being able to say what you want without being a total dick, a little bit of a dick, I totally understand. I get it. I can't hold decorum all the time. Hit subscribe. You're in good company. We can say what we want here. I don't care if you're on the left, you're on the right, whatever. Say what you want, but, you know, be kind of not as shitty, you know? That's all. Because opinions are important. We need to have these conversations. But this is not him going there, having a conversation with the Saudi princes about lifting, you know, ban on free speech there, having a conversation with them to bring, you know, equal rights to women. No, you went there as their little monkey to do their little dance. And you did it.
So, but what sucks is you can't be off the internet because people just keep texting you, hey, just checking in to see how you're doing. And I'm like, kind of doing fine, man. Sit here, eat the sandwich. So, no, but one of the comics over there, openly gay, went over there and just did her fucking act. And she was in the middle of her act, and two of the diplomats got up, and she said to her, what are you guys going to go get on Grindr? Dude, 33 years of comedy, that's the biggest balls of anything I've ever seen. Yeah, dude, and her own fucking people were like, not all of them, but like hardcore psycho gays were going after her. Fucking lunatics, man. It was. Listen, what went going on over there was a super positive thing. If you
Yeah, that is a ballsy thing to say, and I give her credit for saying that. That is ballsy. But you know, it's funny that that's ballsy because in any other circumstance, they would hang her from a fucking ceiling, upside down. That's what they would do with her. They'd detach her limb from limb. It was ballsy. It is, because she could be killed for that there. All this is them coping. They just need to cope now because they look in the mirror and they don't know what the fuck they did. Bill, do you recognize yourself?
actually give a fuck about those people and how they're living over there, there's going to have to be these types of things to kind of pull them in. And I will tell you, the Cheesecake Factory in Riyadh, man, it's incredible.
Did you know?
I am happy that
did you have an inkling before you went to Riyadh? Did you or the other comedians have any sense that there'd be this kind of response when you got back?
No, I had no fucking idea. Because it was funny. One time I did Abu Dhabi, and one person texted me, "Oh, you're going over there to get that blood money, right?" And I go, "Hey, just for the record, I'm also doing London, England on that tour, which is arguably the bloodiest fucking money out there."
Okay, again, it's not the location, it's who paid you, it's who put it on. It's literally the fact that the Saudi government put on a goddamn comedy show and muzzled you, and you took the money. Okay, we've done comedy shows in the Middle East because we've sent people over there to do it for our boys, for the troops. Yeah, that's not an issue. That's not the issue. These people are coping so fucking hard. Like, you in England were not being paid by the government there, and they didn't tell you you couldn't talk about this X, Y, and Z, okay? That's not, they're missing it. They're missing it. Purposely, though, because they don't want to see it.
Yeah, my team doesn't cheat. Your fucking team cheats. So, I mean, if we're going to do the blood money game, I think the only countries I've ever played in that is clean money was New Zealand and I think Iceland. But then Iceland is weird, where over there they have an app, a dating app that doesn't say, if you're related, it's how. Because they're all part of the same thing over there. It's true.
That's not a joke.
It's not a joke. It's fucking true.
Yeah.
Look at you guys. Oh, now he's going after Iceland. Now I'm really upset with that place. I don't really quite know where it is. Next to England. Is that it? No, that's Ireland. That's Isle of Man. That's fucking Iceland. So, no, I'm part of it. I don't give a fuck what all these phony fucking people are saying.
So that's what he does. He's just going to turn on us and try to make it seem like we're the ignorant, stupid ones. Okay, Bill, got you. And then there's Whitney Cummings, who has she's going crazy trying to justify this to herself. She really is. I mean, they're turning on their own fans and saying that we're the bigoted, racist ones. Oh, well, you're not leading the way to anything. Whitney, the women there still aren't allowed to express their opinions. They can't show their mouths, much less open them. I'm going to show you a clip from her, losing her shit, trying to accuse her fans of being the racist ones.
Whitney Cummings addresses the festival. You know what? I don't think I need to address it. You guys have it all figured out. I think you guys got it.
Yeah.
You guys, I guess I'm this weirdo. I don't operate under, the idea that every government and their people are the same. But I guess that's like, you think that the people of Saudi Arabia and the Saudi government all share. Okay, so you also believe that the Chinese government and the Chinese people are exactly the same. It's just racism. I think it took me a second, because when people are going like, oh, you're doing something unethical, I'm like, oh, these must be ethical people, let me listen. And then you're like, oh no, you're just racist. I'm trying to help you sound less racist.
And I'm going to educate you. You know what, girlfriend? I really think you needed to educate yourself before you went there. The people didn't pay you. The government did.
Millionaire comedians going over to Riyadh and playing in Saudi Arabia, even though half of them were very serious about the Me Too movement. Hey, which comic's going to get beheaded this week?
Just because you don't believe in comedy, it doesn't mean other people don't. People are like, oh, you sell out. I love when a Nepo baby tells comics who grew up poor that they're sellouts. People whose dads have points on huge television shows are like, I have a backup plan, a trust fund. You're a sellout for making money. Comics have been doing rants about it. A comic tried to imply that it was hypocritical that I went because I did a special about sexual harassment and stuff like that. I was like kind of during the Me Too movement. And it might be a compelling argument if it wasn't someone who was just bummed that they weren't invited, because he also believes he deserves 72 virgins. Maybe it's that.
I should just tell you guys right now, she's talking about Chris D'Elia because his dad is a producer and whatever. But the thing about Whitney is she didn't grow up poor. So I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. She went to the same private school as Barron Trump in Georgetown. She did not grow up poor. So she's also a liar. And I'm sorry, but looking in her eyes, she looks like she's losing it. Like she looks like a wackadoo.
Also, if you would like to, don't buy it. I don't want your blood money. I did write a chapter in my book about when I went to Dubai. You guys would know how to pronounce it. You tell me, how do you pronounce it? I'm so ignorant, I don't know.
She's a dumb bitch. Honestly, I just can't. There's something about Whitney Cummings I've never really, like, she can be funny 100%. Like, the woman's talented. She has a career, obviously, right? Not taking away from talent. But just like as a human and as like a person, I think like she would drive me fucking nuts. I do. I think she's one of those girls who's probably really nice to your face, and the minute you leave the room, she talks shit. That, or she would talk shit to your face, but she'd say it in that like mean girl, like, I am being nice kind of voice while saying something shitty. Yeah, she rubs me the wrong fucking way.
By the way, any comic who has ever worked with Live Nation, which is all of them, has taken Saudi money. But keep with your little rants. When you get a sec, Google Saudi Arabia Live Nation, so you can be informed on the fact that anyone who has worked with Live Nation, every stand-up comic, has taken Saudi money. Google that, just so that you know what you're talking about.
Or bought a ticket through Live Nation.
Or bought a ticket through Live Nation, went to a Live Nation event.
See, now this is what they all do. They're trying to conflate shit. Live Nation, on the fact that it's a publicly traded company. Anyone can buy stock. They own 2%. They have 2% stake in Live Nation. I could also do that. It's publicly traded. So don't you dare conflate the two, because you took a check personally signed by the Saudi government. Not the fucking same thing at all. Now she's gonna try to sit there and say, so anyone who's been to a Live Nation concert or event, any comedian or musician or anyone who's ever worked with them, that's not the same. And it's gross that she would sit there and try to conflate the two. And they own 2%, or they have 2% stake. That's what you guys need to know. So you can go get your 2%, and then if you decide to start a regime that doesn't allow free speech, and then when you throw your comedy show and ask me to do it, I'm gonna say no because you are a dictator, fascistic type of regime that wants to pay to put a muzzle on me. I'm good. I'm good. Thanks though.
And every stand-up comic has taken Saudi money. Google that, just so that you know what you're talking about.
Whitney, stop talking to us like we're fucking stupid, because we're not. I don't like when people do that. I hate when people talk down to their fucking fans. It's so gross.
How could you, a woman on stage, agree to perform where they don't let women on stage?
It's
I'm gonna try
you know
to
what
get
it
the
is?
math right on that
This is
statement, but
regression of the highest order.
they don't let women on stage.
No.
How could you go?
How could you? How could you do this? And, you know, how could you?
How could you and how could you?
And also,
A real champion for women, you know? Whitney really is. She's just a champion for women. Going there and putting her shit on display so that all the women there can see something they'll never be able to do. And not because they don't have the talent, but because they literally are not allowed to do it. They can't show their mouths, let alone open them. So that was really good on you, Whit. Yeah, really, really, fuck you.
if you would like to, don't buy it. I don't want your blood money. I did write a chapter in my book about when I went to Dubai. You guys would know how to pronounce it. You tell me, how do you pronounce it? I'm so ignorant, I don't know.
Yeah, she is ignorant, correct.
Oh, here we go. I wrote a whole chapter about when I performed in the Middle East 10, 12 years ago. You guys were mad at me then, not sure why.
Oh, 10, 12 years ago when she was performing in the Middle East. I wonder what she was performing for. I have a sneaking suspicion it might be for the American troops, or maybe not being paid by the Saudi government. See, they're all missing the fucking point.
But I explained how I went to the Middle East and learned how toxically ignorant I was about the Middle East, and how the biggest takeaway was how to separate the people that live in a country from the government.
Far be it from us to have a journalist murdered.
Also, the same people who are like, if they found out a Fox journalist was murdered, they would truly throw a party.
Yeah.
That's not true. See, she went to Austin, she got all fucking wrapped up in the Republican shit. Nobody would be happy that a journalist is murdered. I'm sorry, they all want to sit, I can't with this cunt, I can't. Damn it, it's not Tuesday. But she is a CUNT, you know, she's a see you next Tuesday. Ugh. I'm Ceci, this is the Putting You On podcast. I put you on, now you hit subscribe. Thanks so much. I want to get to 2,000. Let's keep going. Also, I'm going to do a reaction video soon to the bar fight show I did with Michael Knowles and Adam Mockler. Adam and I will also be doing a video together. And then I have another debate coming up for Mute Points. I have another one coming up for Jubilee. I will keep you all posted on everything. Until then, you guys have the best day ever. This is Thirsty Thursday. We spilled the tea on these dumbasses. I will never, ever talk down to my fans. I will never sit there and tell you that you guys were the stupid ones. That is ridiculous. And they both are gonna lose a lot more than they gained. Anywho, guys, let's stick together. Let's keep our eye on the prize, and that is getting rid of the fascistic bullshit that is trying to make its way into or has made its way into our country. All right, I love you guys. Hit subscribe. Have a great day. Bye.